Good afternoon, I am Adventure Argonaut. This is Tantei Jinguji Saburo, Ashes and Diamonds, and yeah, tomorrow should be the shareholders meeting in the game. Um, in game time or in the world of the game. So let's see if we can finally make it there and expose Yonaguni and his scam and all that stuff. I wonder if there's gonna be some sort of curveball, because I think next we are gonna supposed to go meet what's her name, Kyoko, the hostess chick. I'm just checking my streams right now. Everything looks fine. Let's get out the chat. You know, as if there's anybody outside of bots gonna be there, but you never know. Stranger things have happened in a quadrant far, far away. But yeah, everything seems fine. Let's play the game. Let's try to finish things today. And we at the what's the place? The real estate agency, Ibasha Real Estate. Is this where we are now? So I'd like to hear about the incident that occurred in the parking garage. Will Oshiro or Iwamoto be here? So let's ask the receptionist. After I told the receptionist what my business was, I was immediately shown to the reception room. Oshiro, have a seat. Waiting for me in the reception room was Oshiro. Following his urging, I took a seat. The game really wants, to focus on sitting and not sitting, I guess, because it cannot visually show you that. So today it's about the shareholders meeting. No. He's asking if it's about the meeting. I'd like to know about the incident that occurred in the multi-story car park 13 years ago. Do you remember the incident between foreigners and Yakuza in the car park 13 years ago? Oh yeah, it's true, something like that happened in the past. He seemed unable to understand why I was asking such a question. I can't say anything definite right now, but maybe there's a connection between this incident and why Yonaguni is targeting the multi-story car park. Is that so? Doesn't know what's really going on. If he doesn't tell me, it'd be difficult to get anyone to listen him with the general shareholders meeting just around the corner. Maybe it means like difficult to get somebody to listen to us. I don't know. But anyway, may I speak to you first? Okay, if that's the case, that's fine. Please ask me anything. So about the incident 13 years ago. So I don't know about the perpetrators or the victims, or they have no connection to our company. At the time, the construction of the car park was underway and somebody entered without permission. Yeah, that's right. At that time, the foundation work was underway and cement had just been poured. So yeah, there's gonna be diamonds in the cement, right? Footprints and other marks were left behind. The scene was completely vandalized. It was really a nasty incident. So about the crime scene. How did the foreign victims get into the construction site for the multi-story parking garage? There was a construction fence at the time. It appears they broke in through a spot that happened to be open. I see. By the way, was it possible to see the construction site from the park next door? Indeed, there was no fence on the park side, and the only thing separating was the park's wire mesh. It was possible to peek through the wire mesh. Haru-san, ask about him. Do you know a homeless man called Haru? Apparently he was breaking into the multi-story car park without permission. That homeless guy. Yeah, I remember. It happened many times when we were building the parking lot. He was a nuisance. Once, when someone damaged the wall in the parking lot, I seriously considered calling the police. So why did he just come in without permission? He was talking how he wanted to sleep under a roof and he was drunk and that sort of stuff happened. Is that the real reason? Haru-san had been living next to the car park for 12 years. The reason if it was a parking lot generally is something like this. At the time of the incident 13 years ago, the foundations of the multi-story parking garage were under construction. I'm curious about the fact that the cement had just been poured in. And this means the cement may not have hardened at the time. Now you're catching on. Let's think about it later. I looked at the clock and realized that my meeting time with Kyoko was approaching. There's no time to be leisurely. Thanks for sharing your story. Now, if there's anything I can do to help you before tomorrow's general shareholders meeting, I'll do whatever I can. Please, thank you very much. Oshiro bowed deeply to me there and then, and with his seeing me off, I left the real estate agency. It's almost time to meet up with Kyoko. Shall we head to the meeting place? Let's do a save. Then go to the meeting place. Yeah, it's the Alta building, right? See, I wouldn't have remembered I was supposed to go to the real estate agency first. Like you know, if I started the stream today at the previous place where we were, and so it's good I went to the real estate agency because I would have just assumed I have to go already to see Kyoko. So I'm at the meeting point. Like I've arrived in front of all that meeting point with Kyoko. Let's look around. Yeah, she was supposed to have like a pink shirt or something. I wonder if she's coming. On the phone, I was told to look for the pink sweater, but I can't see it. Maybe she's topless. I looked around again. At that moment, a woman wearing a pink sweater came running in front of Alta. She looks like a, I don't know, weird cat koala thingy. Is it her? Excuse me. Ah, are you Jinguji-san by any chance? She asks. The woman who looked like Kyoko saw me and gave me a bright smile. Seems she's definitely Kyoko. Sorry I'm late. Before I left, the kids were making a lot of noise and it was a real mess. So does she have kids, or does she work like in a kindergarten or something? Kids? Oh, I guess a kid. It's only about 6 months old. I left the kid with my mother at home, so I guess, yeah, she has a baby. It'd be difficult to leave even for a little while with, crying and screaming. Yeah, I know how that feels. Sorry about that. I suddenly called you even though you have a child. No, that's fine. It's a common occurrence, she said, smiling happily. But does she have a child? That's what she said. Could it be? Oh, no way. Excuse me. Yes? I heard that you and Yonaguni were lovers. Huh? Child. No, that's not true. Kyoko waved her hand frantically. It's my husband's child. I got married to someone else about a year and a half ago. So she was just riding the CC with Yonaguni. And then she settled down. But who told you that Takeru and I were lovers? So I guess they weren't. So you're not? Never had that kind of relationship. Never had such a relationship with him, or does she mean that before meeting her husband? Closed the door, draft was making it bang. Come to think of it, Koba just thought that's how it looked like. Whether they were lovers or not is not the point. Yonaguni and Haru-san, they met because a woman he knew or something 2 years ago. So let's hear what she has to say. Can I hear more about it at the coffee shop over there? When I pointed to the coffee shop, Kyoko nodded obediently. We went together to the nearby coffee shop. So when we sat down, she spoke up. See, always sitting down. So what do you want to ask? On the phone, it sounded like a desperate situation. So ask about her, Kyoko. Why did you quit your job 2 years ago, Kyoko? Well, that's... I was thinking maybe I should quit being a hostess soon. It all started with a broken heart. Broken heart? Before... Until 2 years ago, I was really into Takeru. So wait, does it mean that she liked Yonaguni before that, or what? He used to be a host, so he would often accompany me to work. So the companion, a hostess or host goes on a date with a customer outside the establishment before coming to work, and then goes to work with the customer. I'm still not clear what it means. So, is that why he was with Kyoko? But he quit being a host 2 years ago. I no longer felt the need to earn money by working as a hostess. I quit my job there, and Kyoko left the place because of Yonaguni's change of job. Then I met my current husband, and we got married and had kids. Looking back now, I think it was a good thing I had a broken heart. So I guess she liked him, but they were co-workers or something, like Yonaguni. It was a good opportunity for me. Kyoko looked a little sad, but said with a smile. So about Yonaguni. So about Takeru. He's a kind and considerate person. Not only me, but many of my fellow hostesses were fans of him. He always has a really kind smile on his face. The only thing that didn't make him smile was she started to speak, but then an expression suddenly clouded over. Her expression clouded over. Might have been around that time. That time? When Haru died. He had sharp eyes, like a different person as usual, and then there were times when he looked expressionless. Okay, about Haru again, so... I remember Haru well. Sometimes I would bump into homeless people and they would say hello to me. Bump with their, their hands extended forward. Honk, honk. So it was really unfortunate that he had to die in a park like that. I heard you're the one who took care of Harusan until his death. Jinguji says that. Yes, it happened. I happened to be passing by the park when I noticed Harusan lying down. I wanted to call an ambulance, didn't have the time, and Harusan... So he left the world. Before he took his last breath, Harusan handed me a note. It said, to Yuto. Oh, so it's to his son. Okay, the note. So Harusan wrote a note to Yuto. Yes, I'm sure that's what it said. What happened to the note? I wanted to look after Haru, so I left it with Takeru, who was standing next to me. So maybe that explains about the diamonds or whatever is hidden in the parking lot. So then Takeru's eyes sharpened, so Yonaguni's eyes. So he said he'd keep the note and just took it with him. Yonaguni? What did the note say? I gave it to Takeshi right away, so I didn't see it. So it happened shortly after that. So he said he wanted to start his own business and quit his job as a host. He stopped seeing me because he was busy. So I gave up on him as well. So the note that Haru-san gave to Kyoko saying to Yuto. Of course, he entrusted it to Kyoko, wanting it to be passed on to his son Yuto. But from what I heard from Yuto, such a note never reached him. It seems that Yonaguni took it away and never saw it again. Or not, well, she never saw it again. That man. I felt an indescribable anger towards Yonaguni. I can't just leave it like this. Is there anything I can do? Let's try to think. Let's think like a dragon that's thinking about things. I don't know why dragon, but now it's a dragon. Inference time. So let's gather the information. So 2 years ago, Kyoko and Yonaguni were with Haru at his final moments. Before Haru-san took his last breath, he handed a note to Kyoko saying to Yuto. Kyoko took the note. What did Kyoko do with the note she received from Haru? Almost dropped my controller. So she still has it. Nope, not that one. Threw it away. Nope. I gave it to Yonaguni, or this is forgot about it. Well, if she forgot about it, how would we know that she even had the note? So she gave it to Yonaguni. So Kyoko reportedly handed a note she received to Yonaguni in order to, so she could take care of Haru. After the incident, Yonaguni quit his job as a host and started his current company. It's currently unclear what exactly was written in the notes. It seems Haru had been behaving strangely during his lifetime. Well, everybody behaves strangely in their lifetime. What strange behavior did Haru exhibit while he was alive? He was breathing. So he, I guess, harassed, caused trouble at the parking lot. He intruded into the multi-story parking lot. He set fire to the place. Disappeared. So I guess he intruded into the place. That's it. It seems that Haru had repeatedly committed crimes such as breaking into the multi-story parking garage. So 13 years ago, when the multi-story parking garage was under construction, so apparently that's when it started. At the present, I don't still understand the clear reason. It's clear that the foreigners hid something there. However, there were certain words written in Haru's notebook. And maybe that's somehow related to this behavior. Related intrusions in the multi-story parking garage, what are the words? So 11th of the 2nd of 11th. So second day of November. Car, Yakuza, failure. Okay, Yakuza. That's one of them, right? It's not Yakuza. Okay. Okay, is it this one? The date? It's not the date. Car? It's not car. Fuck you. Failure. Failure, okay. It's like, yeah, I remember sort of what it said, but it's like, whatever. It's like some of these questions are like, what do you want from me, game? An incident that developed into a murder 13 years ago. From next day onwards, those words began to appear in Haru's diary. Yeah, okay, yeah. He said many times failure because he was clearly looking for whatever they hit there and failed. The incident and the fact that Haru had repeatedly broken into the parking garage and the word failure. There's a possibility it's related. Failure probably means not being able to achieve certain goal. That's what it usually means. What's the purpose? Purpose. Assuming that Haru's goal is related to the incident 13 years ago. So consider his description of the incident. Okay, here's that. So 2 people and on site hide. Car, 3 Yakuza basically, 2 people hit and ride. That's what Haru-san's notebook said, but there was something there that seemed to be related to Haru-san's purpose. So what is the description of the incident from 13 years ago that could potentially lead to Haru's goal? So it's hide. Hide, yes. I figured, like, you know, it's not like I'm a freaking genius, but I figured this one out like at least a week ago that there's something in the parking lot that Yonaguni wants. Like, that's not rocket science, but our professional detective is having so much trouble. Of course, it might be, maybe I'm wrong, and this is a red herring, but whatever. What's the description of the incident from 13 years ago that could potentially lead to his goal? Okay, but it's like ride, the site, 2 people. I don't know. Does it mean like 2 people hide or hidden in the site? I guess it's the site. Site. That's it. It's like, I hate this. It's too abstract. Because like, I like playing tabletop role-playing games. I like, you know, conundrums where you can employ actual, like, you know, real world logic. Like, let's say you have a door and you have to go through the door. You know, in a role-playing game you can try to find the door, you can lockpick it, you can bash through it if you're strong enough, or maybe you can climb through a window. But like, you know, in games it means like, no, you have to figure out like the, you know, birth date of the 7th emperor of the ancient Bulgarian empire, and then I don't know, extrapolate from that date some obscure puzzle, and it's like so that can piss off if it's too seems too like arbitrary. Anyway, the description of the incident 13 years ago that seems to be connected. Yeah. Haru's purpose is hide and seen, or the site, whatever. So it's a possibility. The site probably refers to the multi-story parking garage that was under construction. So hide, site hide. So something is hidden there. Yes, I know. That's what Haru's diary said. Does this mean that something was hidden in the parking lot under construction? Yes, yes. I've been saying that for so long. Is there something in that parking lot? Like, it's not like, okay, partially you can say I'm using meta thinking, you know, he's a character in the world and he won't have access to the same level of thinking as me because I'm looking at the game from outside. I know it's a game with mysteries, but still, like, you know, there's few reasons why somebody would want the parking lot for themselves, and especially he knows already that Yonaguni isn't even looking to own it for you know perpetuity. He just wants temporary ownership of the site. So you know either he wants it because of monetary reasons, but doesn't seem like it, or because there's like some emotional connection to the site. But nope, that's not it. So it's like, yeah, there's clearly has to be something there, or maybe it's you know, maybe there's the ley lines are just correct in that side, and he can use them to summon Katuga and start the Age of Fire or something. Anyway, what had been causing Harusan to repeatedly break into the parking garage? If Haru was aiming for something in the parking lot. So Yonaguni may be aiming for the same thing. Yes, thank you. Since 2 years ago he got Haru's note. I think I'm finally starting to see what Yonaguni's purpose is. If what Harusan was aiming for and what Yonaguni is aiming for are the same. Unlike Harusan, Yonaguni has decided to take measures that do not violate the law. At least on the surface. Additionally, the funds for the acquisition of the multi-story parking garage were raised by Torogumi. Yonaguni's stomach doesn't hurt at all. I guess it means he has he has guts. Perhaps that's why Yonaguni started the company, a real estate company. So if he started the company just to acquire the parking lot and he wants the parking lot because there's something valuable hidden there, is quite of still a leap of faith to trust a note from a random dying homeless guy. Okay, all in order to get something hidden in the parking garage. If that's the case, I'm in awe of his determination. Same can be said for Harusan, who seems to have been aiming for the parking garage for over 10 years. Is there something about the parking lot that makes people obsessed with it? I have no idea about that at the moment. So the note that Harusan entrusted to Kyoto saying to Yuto. About that memo, there's something I want to confirm with Kyoko. What happened? I have a feeling there's something about the note that Haru-san gave to Kyoko. Probably was so wait, you had to look. Kyoko. At the very least, sounds like she knows about Yonaguni. Let's see what she has to say. Wait, so are we supposed to? Ah, yeah, we have this. I forgot we have the notebook right now. So the memo that was handed to you, is it a page from this notebook? I showed Kyoko Haru's diary. Well, I don't remember if it was this notebook or not. At that time, Haru handed me something he'd torn out of his notebook. So, the memo is, as expected, the last page of the notebook. I stared at the torn out part of the notebook. So, is this notebook Haru's? Yes. I got it from his son. His son? Yeah, his name is Yuto. She gasped. Oh, the memo to Yuto. He wanted to give it to his son. That's it. And you screwed it up. As Haru was dying, he entrusted Kyoko with the letter to Yuto. But ironically, it ended up in the hands of Yonaguni. Yuto searched for his father's words without knowing of his existence. Haru had said something he wanted to say to Yuto. I did something bad to Haru-san and his son. Kyoko looked apologetic and lowered her eyes. Actually, after that, I asked Takeru about the note. But they said he said he didn't remember. I thought he'd forgotten about it. Was probably just pretending not to know. There must have been some reason why Yonaguni took the note. Was there any important information there? In that case, the fact that he pretended not to know Kyoko meant that it means that he pretended not to know Kyoko when I questioned him. So did we ask him about Kyoko? I don't remember. I guess so. So when I asked Takeru about the note, he was very polite to me. I guess I was nothing more than a customer to him. But that's why I was worried about the note, since I hadn't heard from him since. Kyoko and Yonaguni were complete strangers now. More than this, it seems difficult to rely on Kyoko. Yeah, she's not. Well, I guess we got some useful information out of her still. But if Yonaguni still has the memo, I want to take it back to tell Yuto what Haru said. Haru's final words. Kyoko and I left the coffee shop and returned to Alta front. Do you have Haru-san's contact information? Or Haru-san's son's contact information, she asks. Kyoko asked me as we were parting. Yeah. I told Kyoko the address of Lifewood office where he works. He wants to ask you about Haru. Please talk to him. Yeah. As an apology, I can do that. Thank you for everything. Thank you so much for everything today. Thank you for letting me know. Kyoko bowed to me and left the place. Alright then. Let's think about the future a bit. The reason why Yonaguni is targeting the parking garage is likely the same reason as Haru. If Yonaguni started targeting the parking lot because of the memo, there must be something in the multi-story car park. Well, probably since the incident 13 years ago. So what on earth is it in the parking lot? I hope I can find out. Even if we question Yonaguni, he will probably deny the memo and everything else. The shareholders meeting is tomorrow at 1 p.m. It may be more efficient to prioritize other matters than questioning Yonaguni. How about we abduct him and, break his kneecaps and all that? I remember Kuma-san saying that the foreigner who was killed may have been hired to commit a crime. So after the trouble, maybe he was killed by the Yakuza. Let's look into the past incidents. I'm sure Yoko said that you can search the database of newspaper articles online. So do we find that like some diamond heist or something around the same time? So can use the computer at the office. So what we're actually gonna use a computer instead of Yoko. There's Yuto, Yoko, Kyoko. Come on, man. Calm down, man. No, it's up here. So let's go to the office. Yoko-kun wasn't at the office. I guess she's helping Iwamoto with the inheritance crap. So the newspaper database, I have to look myself. And let's use her computer. Okay, I guess it's just there. I used her computer with unfamiliar hands. Newspaper article database was registered in the browser, so it was easy to find. Guess that's smart because it may not be so easy. Yeah, he knows that much. I learned it first from Kuma-san. The names of both murder victims and the perpetrator were entered as search keywords. Or I guess I entered them. But however, no names other than those in the murder cases stuck. I heard that no foreigners or Yakuza members have been prosecuted so far, but I guess they still haven't come forward. I hope there will be an article that relates to the reason why they were killed. So Yakuza members stated that the motive for the murder was that they had been picked on the street and lost their temper. Yeah, nah, you are stupid. That sounds like a cool movie or something. Okay. So Kuma-san said this is probably just to, assert the claim that they were strangers with the foreigners, that they didn't know them. So because they probably used the foreigners to commit some crime and to hide that fact. If, as Kuma-san thinks, a crime was committed, if the crimes are committed by the foreigners, what? If the crime is committed by foreigners, and their options are foreigners are arrested or then no foreigners were arrested. Isn't it this one? Because no foreigners were arrested. I'm sort of like, why are you asking this? Then the culprits and the crime. The crime occurred on or before November 2nd. So it's before or after November 2nd. So it's before, of course. So the foreigners were never caught, so the crime likely took place before November 2nd, 13 years ago. It said that the foreigners had no criminal record. Even if they had committed a crime, the police didn't catch them. And of course, on that day, it must have been before November 2nd, the day they were killed. For now, let's look into it in the hopes that the crime will be reported in the news. I searched for incidents that occurred around Shinjuku between November 2nd and about a few days before. It said that the foreigners were being chased by the Yakuza and took refuge in the car park. If the reason for his escape or their escape was related to the incident, the date would not have been far from November 2nd. It also said that Yakuza gangs are in Kabukicho, and so they belong to Yakuza gang in Kabukicho. If foreigners are going to commit crimes, it is most likely they will do so in places where they are familiar with the area. It's just a possibility, but when should the incident be investigated? I don't know. Day before the murder. I investigated the incident on November 1st. From among several cases, theft and crime the Yakuza have forced foreigners to commit. Among these, I looked into unsolved cases where the perpetrator has not been caught. It means the conditions, incidents involving car break-ins in parking lots and the western Shinjuku area thefts in apartments in Golkubo. It seems that the items stolen from the car were mainly cash and car parts. As for the theft in the apartment or burglary, I guess, it seems that bank books, cards and other items were taken. Okay, so it doesn't seem that relevant. Okay, how about this one? So I looked into October 31st. I looked at Dark Light the other day. An incident that met the criteria was a theft that occurred at the electronics store in Yotsuya. Apparently someone broke into the house late at night and stole electrical appliances worth a total of 2 million yen. Okay, how about the day of the murder then? So I investigated the incident that occurred on November 2nd, just like any other day. Okay, the cases that met the criteria were a robbery at a jeweler's house at Aoyama and a theft at an adult entertainment establishment in Kabukicho. I guess it's the jeweler stuff. The robbery at the jeweler's house appears to have mainly stolen cash and precious metals. There may be notes. The theft from the adult entertainment establishment apparently resulted in sales loss in sales of approximately 2 million yen. It's a notable incident. The article does not provide details, or like any more details. Even if a person emerges as a suspect in an investigation, unless he is arrested, his name will likely not appear in the news. There's a good chance the police have information that isn't in the article. Let's call Bear or Kuma-san. Okay, can I? Yeah, there's a telephone in the office. So let's make a call. I called Kuma's direct line. Moshi Mosh, you're at bus station. Kuma-san is me. I immediately contacted Kuma-san, asked about the incident I had just investigated. Kuma says, I thoroughly investigated the incident 13 years ago. So Kuma-san seemed impressed by what I had to say. So having a database made it easy to research, but it still was like panning for gold. Well, I look into it, but don't get your hopes up. For cases outside our jurisdiction, we have to obtain documents, so it may take some time. Is that so? I'll leave it to you now. Okay, I'll contact you if I find anything. After I finished talking to Kuma-san, I couldn't help but sigh. I wasn't expecting much from this line. If this doesn't seem like it will produce any significant... this doesn't seem like it will produce any significant results. Let's think thoughts. If things continue as they are, it will be difficult to ascertain Yonaguni's goal or intentions before the meeting tomorrow. Feeling anxious, I looked at the clock. It's 3 p.m. So early. There's already less than a day left until the general shareholders meeting. Is there anything else I can do before the shareholders meeting? Kurita trusts and relied on me. Can't I at least respond to his his request? Let's think some more. Should we go to Yonaguni to pursue him right now? I don't think the man will easily admit to the memo with just the information we have right now. While I was deep in thought, time passed by. Land for the multi-story parking lot must not be handed over to Yonaguni. So for that reason, how to accomplish it. At that moment, I heard the door open. Oh, the brothers. Yoko-kun, Iwamoto sons. Hehe, sons in two senses of the word of son. Ha ha ha. Gentlemen, investigation was just completed. Finally, she did something. Yoko said this and smiled somewhat proudly. Proudy. She's not my best friend anymore, she's Proudy. We have successfully found Mr. Iwamoto's father's inheritance. That's good news at least. You found the inheritance? Yes, maybe... Presumably that's the inheritance, I guess. She reported that the nature of the inheritance and the circumstances that led to its discovery. Is that so? So that was the inheritance for Keisuke. So what is it? Tell me, I wanna know. I never thought. So which one? This is Keisuke saying. So the younger brother. I never thought my father would give me something like that. Keisuke, the person who received the inheritance, spoke with deep emotion. I thought of my father as a cold-hearted man. I realized that that was never the case. Shunsuke, so I said it too. Maybe my dad hasn't changed much at the core. It's true that my father had become a different person since their mother passed away, but he's a good dad. That's right. Keisuke's smiling face reminded me of Shunsuke's face when he found the inheritance. The older brother Shunsuke also spoke of his father in the same way in the attic. Keisuke, you too. You discovered your father's feelings for you. It's like some, weird fantasy world where, feelings are some tangible items, like you can hide them in a box. And there's like, oh, you have to search for your father's feelings. You have to find the box with the feelings because he cannot tell them to you. Yes. It's all thanks to Misono-san and my brother. Misono, is that Yoko's name? I guess that's her last name. During these past few days of searching for the inheritance, I was reminded of my father. And my father, who cared deeply for the family. His feelings have never changed. I finally understand it. Is that so? Keisuke's words reminded me of the feelings I had when I searched for Shunsuke's inheritance. So Chairman Iwamoto's inheritance, like the reason he didn't give it directly is this, I guess. So the reason why he even went so far as to pose a mystery about the location is because he wanted them to find the inheritance. In the process of searching for the family's assets, Chairman Iwamoto likely wanted to help family remember the past. In an attempt to bridge the long-standing gap with the family. Then, when the inheritance was finally found, they believed, or I guess he believed, his feelings would be conveyed to the family. So the own thoughts about the family. So what's this in the box? Chairman's thoughts. Each inheritance contained the chairman's regrets and feelings for the family. His feelings reached his sons when they found the inheritance. That's it. An inheritance is meaningless unless the person to whom it is intended finds it. So, how about telling me what was Keisuke's inheritance? Because for Shunsuke it was the camera, it reminded them of the past. So, what's like his, I don't know, Pokemon cards, his baseball bat he used to commit his first murder. What was it? And there's no point in other people finding out. Okay, that's like answering my question. I still want to know. I think that's still sort of more interesting than this, not inheritance, this real estate business. After that, we went to Kurita's office. There's no doubt that what Yoko and her friends found in an inheritance in the chairman's inheritance from Chairman Iwamoto. So I guess it's the right inheritance. So the inheritance was safely handed over to Keisuke. Now everyone has received Tsutomu's inheritance. Even though I had, we had completed the task of handing over Chairman Iwamoto's inheritance, Kurita looked gloomy. Probably because he's thinking about tomorrow's shareholders meeting. Kurita-san, regarding tomorrow's shareholder meeting, I reported to Kurita what I had investigated so far. Since the incident 13 years ago, there has been a homeless man named Haru who repeatedly broke into the parking garage. Then Yonaguni received a note from Haru. Yonaguni is targeting the multi-story parking garage for the same reason as the homeless guy. It was after he got hold of the memo that Yonaguni started a real estate company. It's possible that they were already targeting the multi-story car park at the time, so 2 years prior. However, we still don't know what's in the parking lot. Just demolish it overnight and we'll find out if we can find out. If we can find out, or even if we could find out. I think it's be difficult for the police to prove by tomorrow that something, something they don't know right now to be true or something. I guess that there's something going on there. Is that so? Kurita says, and turns into a zombie. Kurita closed his mouth. A heavy silence fell over the drawing room. I don't see anybody drawing. Oh no. Yoko is drawing. Almost calls her Kyoko. See? I understand the current situation. Kurita finally said with a sigh. I would like to give up on preventing Yonaguni from attending tomorrow's general shareholders meeting. I'm sorry I couldn't be of any help, Jinguji says. No, not at all, I guess. I'm sorry for asking you so many unreasonable things. But Kurita-san, can I confirm one thing? What's that? Is it important to you, Kurita-san, do not have Yonaguni attend the general shareholders meeting? Or is it to fulfill Chairman Iwamoto's wishes? That's... Of course, to fulfill Tsutomu's last wishes, Kurita stated without hesitation. From what I heard from Jinguji-san, at least it seems that Iwasho Real Estate does not seem to be in danger. If Iwasho Real Estate is not threatened and Tsutomu's wishes are not hindered, for me, I don't care who attends the shareholders meeting. Also, Kurita's purpose is the goal. His goal is to fulfill Chairman Iwamoto's wishes, or adhere to his wishes. Then I'll do my best there too. Okay? Kurita-san, about Kinue's inheritance. I suddenly said to Kurita. I feel like I understand. Why did Chairman Iwamoto's feelings not seem to be conveyed to Kinue-san? What do you mean? Kinue said she's already received the inheritance, but I think she just received the inheritance and didn't look for it. Yeah, because Yonaguni did it for her. She wasn't part of the process. Kurita gasped. I'm sure Kinue's inheritance is yes. Who discovered Kinue's inheritance? Well, it's Yonaguni, but let's save still. Um, so the story goes that Kinoe's inheritance was discovered by Yonaguni. They probably tracked down the inheritance just to get a proxy vote for the general shareholders meeting from Kinoe, the largest shareholder. The purpose is purely to get something in return. I don't think Chairman Iwamoto's intentions were considered. Kinoe-san also, judging from the situation, she will leave everything to Yonaguni. Kinoe treats Chairman Iwamoto coldly as they were strangers. Maybe it never occurred to her to find their heritage on her own. I finally understand, Kurita says. Kurita let out a deep sigh. So even though she found the inheritance, it seemed that Chutamu's feelings were not conveyed to Kinoe. There's no point in somebody else finding the inheritance. That's it. That's why Kinoe said she doesn't follow her husband's wishes because she didn't know them. Oi, can't you do something about it? Shunsuke asks. Iwamoto asked me impatiently. Kinoe is my father's wife and the largest shareholder of Iwasho Real Estate. Can you somehow honor my father's wishes? What my father left to the family and the gratitude he always wanted to give back to Kobayakawa. I wonder if Kinoe-san will understand that. Next to Shunsuke, who was desperately saying this, his younger brother Keisuke looked at me with a prayerful look. So both had the same thoughts. The same is likely true for Chairman Iwamoto's friend Kurita. As sons and friends, they hope to fulfill Chairman Iwamoto's wishes. What can I do for that is make a choice. Persuade Kinoe immediately. Researching Kinoe's heritage. I guess I should research that first. Because we can't. Well, we have some arguments to throw at her. But I think it would be good to understand her. Like what? Yeah, researching her inheritance. Would you allow me to investigate Kinoe's inheritance? I thought that Chairman Iwamoto's wishes should take priority over tomorrow's general shareholders meeting. If the investigation into the estate conveys Chairman Iwamoto's will to Kinoe, as a result, I hope that Kinoe will be willing to respect the chairman's wishes. At that time, we would like to ask for your cooperation in the general shareholders meeting, or maybe her cooperation. Shunsuke asks if that doesn't work in time, what should we do? I have no intention of forcing cooperation. So Chairman Iwamoto wouldn't want it to happen. Otherwise, he wouldn't have left Kinoe an inheritance in this way. What does that mean? Next to Iwamoto and the others who were tilting their heads, Kurita looked at me as if waiting for an answer. This time, Chairman Iwamoto will be searching for the inheritance. No, I guess no. It took a strange form to search for the inheritance sites for Chairman Iwamoto. So one reason is to bridge the long-standing gap with his family during the investigation process. And the other reason is to avoid being pushy. Pushy? At the very least, I don't think he wanted to force his feelings on his family. From what I've heard, Chairman Iwamoto seems to have been a little one-sided, but I think he was reflecting on those things. So I think Chairman Iwamoto wanted his wishes to be respected in the process of searching for his legacy. It's like, no, I don't want anybody to respect my wishes. Then, is there any way, Shunsuke asks, is there any way we can force Kinoa to follow my father's wishes? Jinguji, yeah, that would go against Chairman Iwamoto's wishes. Yeah, that's what we said already. It may be important for Chairman Iwamoto to repay Kobayakawa's kindness. But Iwamoto's feelings for Kinoa must be just as important. Previously, when I spoke to Kinoa emphasizing Chairman Iwamoto's will, she said, like, adhering to my husband's wishes, ? As Chairman Iwamoto thought he wouldn't try to force it on Kinoa either, and I probably shouldn't have done that. If we truly want to respect his wishes, Jinguji-san, Kurita says. After a short silence, Kurita spoke to me. Thank you very much. You were able to understand Tsutomu's last will to that extent. Am I correct in my thinking? Jinguji asks. Yeah. Honestly, I feel like I've been woken up by your words right now. I was a little nervous before the general shareholders meeting. So now we're just, feeling good, but in the end, Yonaguni will attend the meeting and get the parking lot for himself, and there he will find all the 7 magical Dragon Balls and become the ruler of the universe. Because we're just worrying about emotions. I must somehow fulfill Tsutomu's wishes. However, the role that Tsutomu entrusted to me was not that. It was to properly execute Tsutomu's will. How about execute Yonaguni? So Kurita said, and he turned to me again. Jinguji-san, I would like to leave the matter of Kinoa to you. Whatever the outcome may be, I will be satisfied with what you have done. That's the result of respecting Tsutomu's wishes. Kurita-san. Looking at Iwamoto and the others, both of them looked straight at me and Yoko. I felt I was trusted, and they nodded vigorously towards Kurita and others, or we nodded, whatever. Somebody nodded. After Iwamoto brothers left, Kurita stopped us at the reception. One for you all. There's something I'd like to tell both of you, I guess that's what he says. So what do you want to tell? This is Tsutomu's inheritance addressed to Kinoe-san. Kurita, that's... Until now, Kurita had never really revealed his information due to confidentiality obligations. I have more than a duty of confidentiality, he says. I have an obligation to properly execute Chudomu's will. Kurita gave us a smile without hesitation. One of Kinoe's inheritances is shares in Iwasho real estate. I knew that Kinoe had inherited it, but it was left behind as a special legacy. So Tsutomu asked Kinoe to take his wishes into consideration. So he wanted her to become Iwasho Real Estate's largest shareholder. So I guess he wants her to care about the company. But Yonaguni discovered the inheritance. It seems that things did not go as planned for Chairman Iwamoto. It wasn't Keikaku. According to Keikaku, Keikaku means plan. So another inheritance. Business rights and business assets of a certain store. So she's got two things. Kurita said and told me the location of the store. The store inherited by Kinoe appears to be located in eastern Shinjuku. So why did he make the store a heritage site? No. Actually, I wasn't informed about that either. Doesn't know. I thought if Kinoe received it, she would understand. Her heritage doesn't seem very impressive, or she's not impressed by it, I guess. The reason why Chairman Iwamoto left it behind, she still doesn't understand the reason. Thank you. The information you provided will be useful to the investigation. So I have high hopes for you, Jinguji-san. Kurita told me the details about her inheritance, believing that I would be able to complete the investigation. We will do our best to meet those expectations. We left the office with Kurita seeing us off. And when I went outside, it was already dark. Yoko-kun, could you please go to the store that Kurita told me about? I understand. And about Sensei, I'll go later too. However, I thought I should meet with, I guess, the person, Kinoe's predecessor in charge of the investigation. Does it mean Yonaguni, who was in charge of Kinoe's investigation beforehand? I understand. Yoko nodded, understanding what I meant. Then I get started right away. Okay, Yoko-kun. Yes? Thanks for your hard work in investigating Keisuke Iwamoto's legacy or inheritance. Honestly, I felt I had reached the dead end in my investigation, Jinguji says. But thanks to you, I think I found what I need to do. I don't know how much I was able to help Iwamoto and his team. Yoko smiled shyly. This investigation was possible thanks to cooperation with Mr. Iwamoto and his colleagues. That's fine. There's only so much a detective can do. However, as long as we can protect the client's wishes, is fine. Maybe more than the result itself. So it's more important to cherish those feelings. Yes. Hi. How about getting down to business? And that's the policy of the Jinguji Detective Agency. We care about your feelings over facts. Okay. Finally, we exchanged smiles and parted ways. So, are you supposed to go see Yonaguni now? Stop. Hammer time. Do. Think that's what he meant. Let's go to Yonaguni office place. Yes, we can go inside. That usually means we can go, otherwise it says like no need to go there. When I entered Yonaguni office, Nishizawa was there. Do you have an appointment? It's about work. Call Yonaguni. Is her name Mio? I think it's. I don't know what's the kanji. I think it was Mio. Nishizawa looked at me with a slightly confused look on her face and disappeared into the back. Then after a while, was this Jinguji-san? What work do you mean? Yonaguni appeared before me with DB. I came to ask about Kinue's legacy. Iwamoto-san's inheritance. Why? I heard you found it. I just wanted to confirm with my predecessor in charge of the investigation. Predecessor? I decided to take charge of her inheritance. Yonaguni looked at me unsure of my true intentions, but quickly regained his smile. Is that so, Mrs. Iwamoto's inheritance? I'm sorry I can't talk about work-related matters. Can I have no questions? So he's not gonna give me information. Of course he's not gonna volunteer information. He's not dumb, he knows we're trying to do something. Okay, let's ask about the memo. The Haru memo. I heard you received a note from a homeless person in the park 2 years ago. What are you talking about? Is that why you started targeting the parking garage? Excuse me, what are you talking about? Kyoko. You know a woman named Kyoko, right? Which one is that? She was a hostess until 2 years ago. She was your customer. Oh, here we go. I don't remember very well, but... Speaking of Airi, you have a bad memory. I said sarcastically. Yonaguni said... I guess he let out a cool laugh or smile or something. He says, I can't remember many women's names, only the shape of their bumhole. There's no end to it. So I guess there's lots of women. Well, that's through Haru, asking about Haru. Do you remember a homeless man named Haru? Yeah? No? I don't actually know anyone like that. Haru-san has a son named Yuto. Since Haru was separated from Yuto, they were never able to meet again. The note you received was entrusted to Yuto. If you still have the note, give it to him. If not, at least tell him what it is about. Jinguji-san. Yonaguni even seemed a little troubled. What are you talking about? Is there any point in talking any further? Parents and children, husbands and wives, this man doesn't seem to care about such things. It's true that Yonaguni is not affiliated with Iwasho Real Estate nor is an acquaintance of Haru. They are like complete strangers. To others, the feelings of parents and children and our couples may be of no importance, but that's why I don't want this man to take everything away from them, I guess. So are you planning on attending the shareholders meeting tomorrow, Jinguji-san? Is that so? I look forward to seeing you there. The only way to thwart this man's plan is tomorrow's shareholders meeting. Well, that's sort of obvious. Has to be some, epic battle of wits. We have no choice but to question Haru about his notes. I guess have to examine Haru's notes, I guess. If the notes, or I guess the notes that he got, if the notes become worthless to you at tomorrow's shareholders meeting, let's talk again then. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's fine. I'm also a busy person. If I only had the time, I understand. And make sure you have plenty to spare. Is that so? Looking forward to it. Okay, I don't think that accomplished much. With Yonaguni's fearless smile behind me, I left the office. I've done what needed to be done. Let's meet up with Yoko. So where is the place she inherited? Is it this one? Yeah, this is a new place. Kinoe's inherited property, okay. I'll be right back. I'm gonna check on my son. I think he's sleeping. Gotta make sure. Yes, indeed, he is sleeping soundly. Or actually without any sound, which is good. Haha. So we went to the Kinoe inheritance shop place, whatever. It's the old brothel where she used to work. Sensei. When I arrived at the store that Kurita had told me about, Yoko, who had arrived earlier, greeted me. There seems to be no mistake here. Okay, let's look around. Shutter. The shutters of the store are already down and it appears to be closed. And the board. Signboard. Bakery mold. Looks like a baker. What do they make? Moldy bread? Is this bakery an inheritance from Inoue? Why did Chairman Iwamoto leave this store to Kinue? It was already closed when I got here. Did I lose track of time? What time do they, I guess, open in the morning? Seems like 7 o'clock. Well, yeah, usually bakeries open early, or at least the workers come in early to bake the bread and stuff. The shareholders meeting is scheduled to begin tomorrow at 1 p.m. So, time is already limited. Sensei, if you like, I'd like to go see Kinue right now, she said. No. After thinking for a bit, I shook my head. It would be useless to go now. There's nothing I can tell Kinue right now. Yeah, that's so. Excuse me, I felt impatient. There's no need to rush anymore. Let's go back to the office. And investigation is tomorrow. Hi. We left the place and went back to the office. There's little time left, but I knew all too well I didn't have much time left, but I no longer saw any value in forcing myself to get results. Yeah, just do whatever. It doesn't matter if we finish the job or not in time. There's no point in results that don't resonate with people. I guess there's some fact to it, like especially like if you're trying to please your clients, if your clients aren't happy, even though you did exactly what they asked for originally, but it's like if even if you half as your job, but like if they like the way you did it, maybe it's better. We should ask Kinua to cooperate with the general shareholders meeting while giving her the utmost consideration, whatever the outcome may be. But hopefully, I looked at the night sky and uncharacteristically prayed. I want to protect as many feelings as possible. Chairman Iwamoto's will and Koba's thoughts and feelings, and Harusan's and Yuto's. So emotional, so Japanese. Since we will never meet again alive, at least we can leave behind what was left behind or something. I want them to receive the feelings that are put into it, so that the thoughts and feelings can come together, and so that they can rekindle the bond. Put James Bond into the Wicker Man and kindle him. The day of the shareholders meeting has finally arrived. I woke up a little earlier than usual, went down to the office, and Yoko was there. Sensei. Ohayo gozaimasu. Morning. Her expression was tense but greeted me as usual. Let's just go kick some ass. It's finally. I don't know what the outcome will be, but it'll be the best. Yes. So today, Yoko, can you go to the general shareholders meeting venue? I want you to report the situation. I understand. Yoko nodded and picked up her bag. Sensei, I'll be waiting for you at the venue. I'll be off then. I watched Yoko leave and saw her off on the spot. Then I will... At that time the phone office rang. Alright, let's answer. Moshi mosh. Oh, it's Kuma. Is it this Jinguji? Familiar voice of Kuma came from the receiver. Kuma-san, is this about what I asked you about yesterday? Yeah, I obtained the case documents you requested. Can you come to the station now? Understood, I'll be there right away. I nodded and hung up the phone. Even though we know about the incident that happened 13 years ago, it probably won't affect the general shareholders meeting. I don't think we'll know such clear facts before the shareholders meetings begins, but I wonder what was hidden there at the parking lot 13 years ago. If I understand that, the contents of the memo that was given to Yonaguni, I might be able to guess them. So let's go to Yodobashi police station. Okay, finally. Do a save at least. Then here. Police station, Yodobashi. Go inside. And there is Jinguji-kun. And he's not Jinguji-kun, but he said Jinguji-kun. So he was waiting for me at the reception. Kuma-san, sorry, I know you're busy. Not at all. Seems you were in quite of a hurry. We're both busy when we're busy. I guess that makes sense. Kuma-san said with a friendly smile, then took out some documents. So which incident should we start with? There's a lot. Yotsuya electronic store theft, car break-in in Western Shinjuku, Akuba apartment burglary, jewelers home robbery, and Kabukicho entertainment. I'm thinking about the jeweler. The damage was cash and precious metals. The damage cost in cash is about several $100,000. As you'd expect from the jeweler's house, the damage to precious metals is considerable. Millions of yen worth of jewelry had also been stolen. Also, no damage was reported. There are rumors that the jeweler's treasured diamonds had been stolen. Okay, this is it. Okay, I guess we have to ask the other stuff too. So the Yotsuya electronics store theft. It appears all the damage was caused to the electrical appliances. Damage is mainly focused on expensive electronic products such as televisions and cameras. Or I guess they were taken damaged. Even though they're expensive, each one is only 100 or 200,000 yen at most. All of the stolen items are in general circulation. Okay. This was the car break-in. The items that were stolen were cash, car parts, such as car navigation systems. Cash is only a cash was only a few thousands at most. The most expensive car part is the navigation system, it's around 200 to 300,000. The Okubo apartment burglary. The items that were stolen were cash, bank books, credit cards. There seems to have been several burglaries. The damage per case is around several tens of thousands of yen. Okay, so not that much. This is the theft at the Kabukicho adult entertainment store. But yeah, this might have something to do with the mafia, like if it's Kabukicho and adult entertainment or Yakuza. The only thing that was taken was cash. It's about 2 million yen in sales of that was stolen. So I finished hearing the whole story, all the stories from Kuma. Among these, the incident that seems to be connected to something hidden in the multi-story parking garage is, of course, it's the jeweler store. Let's say, in case I'm wrong for some reason, but it's like the name of the game is dead giveaway, Ashes and Diamonds. I'm curious about the robbery at the jeweler's house. As expected of Jinguji-kun, you got your eye on something good. It was an incident outside my jurisdiction, so I had no knowledge of it. The characteristics of robbers are: it matched the victims of the murder 13 years ago. Is it true? So why didn't the cops connect these two crimes back in the day? He nodded and explained the details. According to eyewitness testimony, the robbers all appear to be Asian foreigner men. Not only the appearance, but even the clothes match the characteristics of the murder victims. However, there's a possibility that they are the same people. Other than the characteristics of the robber, don't know. And the murder victim is long gone. Well, yeah, it's true they cannot prosecute the dead people, but surely they, could have looked deeper into it. So you'll have to ask the Yakuza who are responsible. It's going to take time to get that sorted. Yakuza have been denying it for years. Unless some kind of evidence about the robbery comes to light, I don't think they'll be forthcoming. So the pursuit of pursuing Yakuza is unlikely to have any impact on today's shareholder meeting. What about the treasure diamonds that is rumored to have been stolen? The jeweler is a person with a lot of shady rumors surrounding him. One of the rumors is that he diligently converted his slush funds into diamonds. So they were stolen. If that's the case, I guess he can't report them to the police. It seems that the jeweler had been independently investigating the route of the stolen goods for some time. The rumors were that it had been stolen seemed to spread from there. Apparently the diamonds are worth a total of 2 billion yen or something like that. 2 billion yen worth of diamonds? Just a rumor. Might have a tail fin, what? I guess it means might be BS. Besides, the value of jewels seems to change from time to time. It certainly depends on the market at the time. But even if it's just a rumor, 2 billion is an incredible amount. Hundreds of diamonds have apparently been stolen. And the jeweler, he'd like to pursue it further, but the culprit of the robbery, or the foreign victim from the incident 13 years ago, the victims are the same people. Of course they are. The motive for the murder may have been robbery. Foreigners teamed up with the Yakuza to commit robberies. Probably fled immediately afterwards and took refuge in the construction site for a multi-story car park. So Yakuza may have been chasing the foreigners because they had run off with the stolen property, or maybe they just wanted the property and, instead of paying the foreigners. That's possible too. It's entirely possible the diamonds are the objects hidden at the construction site of the multi-story car, like I've been saying for a long time. And the foreigners immediately after hiding it, the foreigners were caught by the Yakuza. Probably tortured and killed. But 2 billion in diamonds, is it really true that they disappeared somewhere? Doesn't seem like that sort of things were passed through the stolen goods black market route, whatever. So maybe they've been sleeping for a long time in somebody's garage. Well, yeah, in somebody's garage, yeah. That's probably why Haruo-san continued to insist on using the parking garage. And when he left the world, he tried to tell Yuto where it was. For homeless Haruo. Perhaps he intended it as a small legacy for his son. Well, it's not a small legacy. It's still pretty nice, I guess. Not sure how much 2 billion yen is actually in euros or USD or anything, but it's probably a nice amount of money. So Kuma-san, thanks for doing the research. Now, thanks to Jinguji, I was able to make an interesting discovery. I will now investigate this matter further. I hope you can solve the case from 13 years ago. Yes, my guess at the time was correct. I guess because he was thinking that the murder case has some other crime related to it. So Kuma-san said it in a powerful tone. I raised my hand to Kuma and left the place. So let's sort out what he told me. I have to go close the door. The wind sort of opened it right back. Let's draft here. Okay, we have a thinky moment. Inference time. Inference time. Let's put it all together. It was stolen from a jeweler's house 13 years ago, 2 billion in diamonds. Maybe sleeping in the multi-story car park. To date, there have been no report of it being distributed among the stolen goods route, or the black market, I guess. Seems possible that the person who stole the diamonds is the person involved in the murders related to the parking garage. What is the relationship between the foreigners involved in the murder and the Yakuza? Perpetrator and client. Wait. So the relationship between the foreigners involved in the murder and the Yakuza. So perpetrator and client. Perpetrator victim. Family. First meeting. I guess they met first time. So I guess it's. Well, it's probably both a bit, but I guess it's like perpetrator and victim. It's not Okay. So then it's the client and perpetrator. That's it. But it's both. They were also victims, right? Diamonds for total 2 billion in yen are rumored to have been stolen. The foreigners and Yakuza, like it's possible the foreigners perpetrated the crime for their client, the Yakuza, basically. And the foreigners who were the perpetrators of the diamond theft, then the client is the Yakuza and they kill the foreigners, yes? I don't know the details, but the foreign perpetrators were trying to get their hands on the stolen diamonds. But the client, the Yakuza, noticed the betrayal. Betrayal betrayed me. At the multi-story parking lot where the foreigners took refuge, they were assaulted there and then questioned about the items they had stolen. So it resulted in a murder. The Yakuza who committed this murder lied about their motive for the murder. This is probably to hide the fact that this is an organized crime, or I guess premeditated. The foreigners hid the diamonds in a multi-story parking garage just before they were discovered by the Yakuza. And somebody witnessed the whole thing. Who saw the diamonds hidden in the parking garage? Is it Kyoko? Is it Yonaguni? Is it Haru-san? Is it Yuto? Of course it's Haru-san. There's Haru. So I wonder if he was trying to break into the garage to get the diamonds. However, it all ended in a failure. Before his death, Haru tried to inform his son Yuto about the existence of the I guess, the stash by leaving a note. Ironically, this led Yonaguni to target the parking lot. Could it be that Yuto ended up not even receiving the memo? Yes, he didn't receive it. Thinking about this way makes it seem like a series of events are connected. This is merely speculation with no concrete evidence. So, even if I told the police about my theory, they probably wouldn't investigate. However, it seems unlikely that we can expect confessions from. Unlikely that we get confessions from the Yakuza who had been arrested for the crime. Of course, they won't confess. Considering that the diamonds have not yet been found to date, it's possible that the Yakuza don't know where they are hidden. So what's Yonaguni aiming for? Is it the diamond sleeping in the garage? I don't know how much Yonaguni knows about the incident 13 years ago. Rumors of stolen diamonds and Haru's notes might have given some insight. Well, yeah, probably he's heard something because he used to be a host and sort of still hung out in similar circles, so he probably heard rumors about diamonds stolen. like from other sources too. Okay, he hatched the plan to steal it. Even the Yakuza and the uh, civil servants were involved, like finding funds for the acquisition. Yeah, Sasatsuka-san already forgot about his existence. They even used Iwasho Real Estate's general shareholders meeting as a means to coerce them. So, what are we supposed to do now? I guess go to the bakery. Yes, the bakery mold. I guess it's, the mold, the shape. That's probably what it means, but I can't help but think of it like, mold, like moldy. Okay, let's go inside. Ugh, that looks scary. Welcome. It's a woman, allegedly. When you enter the store, the sweet smell of bread and friendly voice was, you were greeted by it. Yeah, let's talk to this thing. Please stay away. Sorry, is the manager here? I want to talk to your manager. My name is Karen. Is it me? So she's the manager. Actually, I'm an acquaintance of Kinue Iwamoto. Do you know about Kinue? Do I know Kinue? Again, why would somebody like that? She looked at me in surprise. She seems to know about Kinue, but why is she so surprised? What I'm concerned about is you just said Kinue. Are you close to Kinue? Yeah, we're old friends. Old friends? It's been a while since I heard Kinue's name. My name is Kamezaki Keiko. So, friend of Kinue and bakery, owner of Bakery Mold. But didn't she donated the land or something? Or does she own the land, but this woman, Keiko, owns the bakery? Or I was confused. Kamezaki bowed politely to me. Bye-bye. So then, what does it have to do with Kinue? I guess that's what she basically says. So Kinue asked about her. Kinue and I have been friends since our school days, but now we're distant. I haven't had any contact with her in decades. Not in touch. Kinue inherited the store's business rights and other assets as an inheritance. Current owner of the place is supposed to be Kinue. Does this person know that? Yeah, it's weird about the store. I started this shop with a friend about a year ago. It's an impressive store, isn't it? Yeah, the location is good. It must have been hard to open so many stores. But that wasn't the case. When I was thinking about opening a restaurant, I was lucky enough to find someone willing to invest in me. Maybe it's Iwamoto. Thanks to that, I was able to open the store right away. So the person who invested is only a representative. I never met him though. I'm very grateful to the owner. The owner is probably Kurita Tsutomu Iwamoto Shunsuke. I guess it has to be Tsutomu Iwamoto. He invested a year ago. The owner is probably Chairman Iwamoto. The business rights of this store are the Iwamoto's legacy. Do you know somebody named Iwamoto Tsutomu? Tsutomu Iwamoto, I'm sure that person isn't that Kinue's husband? Yes, that's true, but what about her husband? Nothing. Apparently, Kamezaki is Chairman okay, she only thinks of him as Kinue's husband. So I guess she doesn't know he's dead or anything else like that. In this situation, Chairman Iwamoto I guess she doesn't know that he's the owner. I think that's what it means. Considering he appointed a substitute, Iwamoto probably deliberately hid his name in the business. Why on earth would he do that? Okay, ask about why she became estranged from Kinue. Why did you become estranged from Kinue? Well, it started when my previous store closed down. Previous store? You don't know? Kinue used to run a bakery. Oh, okay, so they can. So with me and another friend as well. So Kinue ran a bakery. We went to a culinary school. I hear my son waking up. To go get him. Be right back. Yeah, he's very crying. Right, I am back. So, what's going on? What was going on? My son is here. So yeah, they went to culinary school. And so opening a shop was a promise they made to themselves or each other when they were at school studying. So the three of you opened a shop. So why did the store close down? After Kinue got married, she suddenly quit. And so we were no longer able to run the store. So that caused you to become estranged from Kinue. It's not just her fault. However, it's sad that she quit without giving me a proper reason. Kinue kept saying that she wouldn't quit even after getting married. Okay. And the inheritance. Are you aware that this store has been subject of an inheritance? Huh? Does that mean the owner has passed away? So she hasn't been informed yet. Chairman Iwamoto concealed the name, and Kinue has not told her friends about the inheritance, or I guess maybe she doesn't know. She probably hasn't been to the store. She probably just thinks it's some random address, like some place she inherited. So is there something going on here? That's something like this usually. Let's gather our thoughts before venturing forth. Alright, let's save first. Inference time. Let's think carefully about the information we've got so far. The special inheritance that the chairman left for Kinoa was a bakery. The person who works at the bakery are old friends of Kinoa who used to run a bakery together. The reason why Kinoa ran a bakery with her friends was... So what was the reason? To make money. Well, that's probably part of the reason. It's a promise. Because they were good friends, so I guess I think it's all three, but I guess it's the promise. Yeah, the reason Kino ran a bakery with her friends is because of a promise they made when they were students. However, Kinoa betrayed them by quitting the store after she was married. She betrayed now. Now she has to be killed with hot bread. As a result, the store had to close. It seems that Kinoa and her friends have been estranged since then, but about a year ago, Kinoa's friends thought about opening the store again. The store then was able to open soon after that. Apparently there was a big reason for this. So was the reason they were able to open so quickly. The investor appeared, well, I think it's this one, but let's see the other options as well. Because it was saving up for a startup capital, no. It was given the store, no. Yeah, I guess it's the investor appeared. Wild investor appears. Luckily, someone came forward to invest in the project and quickly got off the ground. It got off the ground. So the friends only met, like Kinoa's friend only met with their representative. So it seemed she doesn't know that Chairman Iwamoto was the owner. There was no doubt that the owner of the bakery was Chairman Iwamoto. Are you saying there's no doubt? Like, it's fairly likely him, but there's a small doubt. That's why I was able to hand the land to Kinoa's inheritance. Well, I guess that's true, but still. So a friend of Kinoa explained the situation. Or Kinoa's friend explained the situation like this, okay? So has Kinoa told her friend that she inherited that, or does she know about it? She doesn't know. Kinoa's friend seemed to have no idea she inherited the store. Friend said she hadn't been in contact with Kinoa for decades. This means Kinue has never shown up at the store. So why on earth? So when this happens, so I'm starting to get suspicious if Kinue knows about the inheritance she got from the chairman. So did Yonaguni actually lie about something, like hide something from her? So why did you come to visit me today? She asks. Excuse me, I can't go into the details right now, but I came to ask about Kinue-san. Kinue. So does she know about the store? I don't know, but maybe she doesn't know. Is that so? Well then, could you please convey this to Kinue? That we run a shop here. And if she'd like, she can come to the store. I understand. I will definitely tell her. She looks so creepy. Kamezaki smiled and said, and packed some bread from the store into the bag. If you like, please take this. There's also bread that Kinue invented a long time ago. Ooh, now I'm intrigued. So we got the friend's bread. Tomodachi no pan. Now it's Yuji no pan. The bread seems to be freshly baked. I felt a slight warmth coming from the bag. Okay. I thanked Kamezaki and left the store. Then I guess we have to go see Kinue. I guess it's a good thing she's always at her home. She just never leaves. And now, of course, she's absent because we are in a hurry. Oh. So I arrived in front of the apartment when my phone rang. Moshi mosh. Nice. Yoko's voice. Sensei, it's me. Yoko's voice came over the phone. So how was it? We are still investigating, or I'm still investigating. As I answered, I checked my watch and so it was already noon. The shareholders meeting is scheduled to begin at 1, so we have 1 hour, alright? Yoko, are you at the Ibasha Real Estate now? Yes, I'm at the shareholders meeting. Several shareholders have already gathered. Yonaguni is here too. I think the general shareholders meeting will probably start at the scheduled time. I see. Unless I go to Ibasha Real Estate right now, I might not be able to make it in time for the start of the meeting. Yoko said as if she had sensed it. I already told President Oshiro and others that the sensei may not be there during the event. They said there's no problem, so please, sensei. Okay, thanks. I won't give up until the last moment. Then I will give up. Okay. I'll be waiting for you at the venue. After I finished talking to Yoko, I looked at the apartment building in front of me. So can I take Kinue with me to the venue? Or will I have to go alone? Can we pull the woman? So I went inside at that time. Oh! You're still... again, she's asking. Just gonna reach over to get some bread and give it to my son. Alright. So what did she... my controller fell. Okay. So she appeared, wild Kinue appeared. Please stop this nonsense. After saying that, Kinue tried to leave the place. Okay, let's what's the interrogate. There's no way I'm getting Kinue get away now. Punch her in the face. Kick her in the shins. Unless I can somehow stop her. Maybe I should have given the bread to her. Like, oh, I have bread. Talk profile. TP. TEP. TP. So, shareholders meeting will begin soon. You don't need me now. Okay, let's look. She doesn't seem interested in listening at all. She has hardened her attitude considerably. It's probably best not to stimulate it unnecessarily. So Kinue-san, I have something to tell you. She says, if you're talking about it, or if she said it, I've already heard plenty of it. What more do you want to say? Okay, so what are we going to say? About the general shareholders meeting, about the inheritance, about United. Well, of course, it has to be the inheritance, but let's still save. Let's see. What was this? This is strong. I think it's a bit different options than usually be. Yes, it's like a strong way of expressing, or like meek way or something. Maybe meek or weak. Yeah, that seems to be the right one. Actually, I came here to talk to you about the inheritance that was indebted for you. I don't want to talk about to you anymore. There's, yeah, blah blah blah. Wouldn't say it's impossible. I guess I won't like force you or something, whatever. However, there's something I really want to tell you, Kinue. So if you don't mind, just listen. Kinue stopped in her tracks. So what do you want to say about my inheritance, or what do you mean by it? There's something important about the inheritance, that is to look for it, to discover, to receive. I guess it's the discover it's a questioning tone, assertive tone. I don't know, questioning? No. The discovery this isn't that important. If so, have I found it yet? Oh no, I lost a life. No, I'm not gonna allow that. That stings. Yes, go through this. Save again. And then do I have to judgmentally? No. Okay, that's the wrong one. So I guess it's to what was the word? To look for it. Like if you look for it, you're gonna discover it. So I don't know that difference here. I guess the questioning. So no. Okay, we didn't lose a life at least. Strongly? Okay, I have to say it strongly then. The important thing is to find the inheritance. Find or search. You haven't searched for the inheritance yourself, have you, Kinue? Yeah. I believe that heritage only becomes valuable when you search for it. So you only get to understand Chairman Iwamoto's thoughts that way. His thoughts? It seems they're interested. So let's make it clear. So how do we make it clear? So what's the sentiment behind the legacy? Love for her, worries about her retirement. I can't answer. I guess it's this one. We're being sneaky. Strongly? Yes, haha, I understand how to beat her up. I can't answer that. What do you mean? Okay, I have to give some water. Now I poured some water for my son's bottle and he seems very happy about that, which is good. Okay. He deliberately left no words about this, the Chairman Iwamoto. It's not something you can express with words. I think it was because he wanted Kinue to sense it. Eh? Honestly, I don't understand what you're talking about. Yeah, because you're dumb. If the search for the inheritance... Like, if we search for the inheritance, we can understand the feelings. What can you possibly learn from something like that game? Any evidence? Source? What evidence do you have that Chairman Iwamoto has in mind? So it's Kurita, Koba, Shunsuke. Let's save here. I think Koba-san, because she met him at least. So Kobayawa, he's a friend of Chairman Iwamoto. I heard that he received inheritance from my husband. So what happened to Koba-san doesn't provide any evidence that we can understand Iwamoto's feelings by looking into his inheritance. But I think she was moved sort of by, you know, I guess it's Shunsuke. Chairman Iwamoto's son Shunsuke came to understand his father's wishes by searching for the inheritance. Why? Maybe I should have looked into the inheritance. If I search for the inheritance, I'll find something out. Probably. To what extent does Kinoe understand the inheritance she has received? I'd like to confirm that. It seems she's accepted this much for now. Here comes the main point. Kinoe's heritage. How much information does she know? Could I confirm something about your inheritance? What about it? What about the inheritance? So, what I want to confirm is the inheritance that's supposed to be most important to her. So, the bakery, Iwashi Real Estate, Kurita Law Office, Yonaguni Consulting. This is the bakery. Yeah, bakery mold. Moldy bread, very tasty. It's a heritage site called Bakery Mold. Just let me check on the inheritance. Did Kurita talk about it? Kinoa frowned in displeasure. You know what kind of store it is. So, who runs the store? Well, Akina shook her head, not seeming interested. It seems she has no idea what her former friends are up to. Kino, why do you think Chairman Iwamoto left the store to you? Long ago, I used to run a bakery. Let's see if this piggy of a fan wants to sit in my lap again because he knows. Yeah, I guess I probably still won't make it to that shareholders meeting today, or at least this stream, because at least try to take care of this conversation with her, but it's gonna still take a while, right? Anyway, so maybe he thought I was the right person for the job. Suitable for the job? So he entrusted me to run the business he was running or something. I know it's annoying if you think about it that way, but the one-sidedness is typical of him. Do you think Kinoya-san, the Chairman Iwamoto, was running a bakery as his own job? He wasn't. See, she's dumb. It seems that Kinoya doesn't have the idea that this store was prepared just for her. It was a store that Chairman Iwamoto ran as his own business. Kinoa probably doesn't feel any gratitude for her inheritance. It seems she doesn't understand why the bakery was left for her. The reason why Iwamoto left the bakery as the legacy, I better make it clear. Can we give the bread now? Alright, maybe this is a good chance. If you're gonna eat, I apologize or excuse yourself. Seems pointless to show it to them unless they are in position to listen to me. I don't want to lose any lives. It's annoying. I think it's very arbitrary, like, can we just use it? See, this, smell the bread, it's the kind of bread you invented or something, or I don't know if they make that sort of bread still. Well, I guess I don't have to save yet. Why did Chairman Iwamoto prepare the store as an inheritance for her? The reason for this could be... So, what might be related to why Chairman Iwamoto decided to use his inheritance to create a bakery? Or her inheritance. Married to Kinoue, Kinoue quit the store. Previous store, I guess because she quit the store previously. So question, I guess, strong? Yeah. Strongly beat her up because she's so dumb. Dumb and passive. The reason why Chairman Iwamoto decided to give his inheritance as a bakery must have something to do with Kinoue quitting her old store. On what basis? Since Kinoue left the store. Well, I guess why did she leave the store? She broke a promise, became housewife, closed the store. So is it because she broke the promise? Yeah. She broke her promise. Now I'm gonna break your kneecaps. Quitting the store, you probably ended up breaking a promise you made to your friend. Instead of answering, Kinoue lowered her eyes sadly. Perhaps Kinoue still feels guilty about that. That she broke the promise to a friend. Kinoue herself may not have wanted to leave the store, but ended up quitting because... Why did she quit? She quit because of Tsutomu or Shunsuke, Keisuke or Kinoue. So was it for herself or for her husband? That's a tough question. I don't know. Let's try the husband first. Okay. Yeah, that's the right answer clearly. Is it because of Chairman Iwamoto that Kinoue had to quit the restaurant or the bakery? That's it. So Kinoue nodded as if pouring out her long-held feelings. So he told me to quit. Still the second year of our marriage. And after that, yeah, their love died after she quit the store. I guess my theory is because she's so obnoxious that, you know, if she's at home all the time, she's growing more obnoxious. But if she goes to work, then she, you know, spreads some of that obnoxious around there, so she doesn't spread it too much at home. One day, suddenly, without any explanation, he told me, "You don't have to go to work." So yeah, he told her that she doesn't have to go to work. That's what he said. I begged him, but he wouldn't even listen. So that's why you broke the promise, or she broke the promise. I think I understand why you were so hung up on the promise. You didn't want to break your promises to people anymore. Especially if it's the chairman's will. I didn't like the way you guys brandished my husband's wishes. As his wife, he seemed to be telling me to obey. Is that the reason Kino was so stubborn? The more desperate we tried to help Chairman Iwamoto, the more Kino seemed to dislike us. Maybe it's just one more push. Let's do one more save then. I think I understand why Chairman Iwamoto left the inheritance, that store as inheritance. So yeah, maybe he felt bad for making her quit the store, or you quit the store a long time ago. So why so? Chairman Iwamoto's feelings are expressed as follows. Store name, the merchandise, or the investment destination. I guess the investment destination, because like it's the friend. Strongly, yes. The investment destination. I don't know. There's probably a better English expression for it. What do you mean? The person who invested in, or the person the Chairman Iwamoto invested in was your old friend Kamezaki Keiko. Keiko? I know that Kamezaki and a friend have been running the bakery for the past year. Chairman Iwamoto said that he offered to invest without revealing his name. Chairman Iwamoto was wondering why his name was hidden. Maybe it's because of the circumstances that led to Kino quitting the store a long time ago. Perhaps he didn't want Kamezaki and the others to realize it was an apology from long ago. He probably thought he shouldn't do that, considering he would eventually hand over the store to Kino as an inheritance. So, is this really a shop really run by Keiko and a friend? You don't believe me? Yeah. Okay, in order to get Kino to believe that the store is owned by Kamezaki and her friend, can we finally give her the bread? Use the bread. Biatch. Smack her on the face with the bag of baked bread. The gift from Kamezaki-san. Kino looked inside the bag and cried out in surprise. I made this long time ago. It seems that some of these were invented by Kino a long time ago. Oh. She's a genius when it comes to bread. I have a message from Kinoe to Kamezaki. son is messing with my computer. So I have to make sure he doesn't switch anything off. That's important. So yeah, I have a message. The Luca Bracci sleeps with the fishes. If you'd like, please come to the store. That's for the message. Keiko. Seems like she believes me. It appears that the misunderstanding regarding Chairman Iwamoto's legacy has been successfully resolved. So he came to apologize, or he apologized for what happened in the past via his inheritance. That may not be all. The feelings that are embedded in the heritage are... What on earth? Kino-san, if you don't mind, would you like me to help search for your inheritance? Eh? But the inheritance is already... Let's go through the steps from the beginning and find out where the inheritance was. Maybe we can find out something. Do you think this is ridiculous? No. Kino shook her head and looked at me straight into the eyes. The inheritance appears to have been in my husband's study. I don't know anything more than that. What did the will address say? Okay, I think my son is getting very bored. Don't have much time left until... So yeah, said to look for it in the study. Something important to me there. Oops. Okay, let's go to the study, and then I probably have to end the stream there because somebody is not happy. Then, could you please show me to the study? Yes, alright, I guess I'm gonna save here then. It still took longer. I was still not at the meeting. But I guess next time. I hope I have time to stream another time later tonight. I have to see about that. But I'm gonna head away. Yeah. Anyways, I'm Adventure Argonaut. I thank you for watching and bye bye.